It's funny how life changes, isn't it? Things we never gave a second thought to in our younger years. Things that were just part of the background noise of daily living can suddenly seem different, maybe a little more challenging, sometimes even a little intimidating. We get used to a certain rhythm, a certain way of doing things, and it's easy to assume that rhythm will just carry on forever. But the truth is, as we move through different stages of life, our bodies and even our environments can interact in new ways. Sometimes, those seemingly innocent, perfectly normal parts of our routine or our surroundings can become surprisingly tricky, maybe even a bit risky, without us even realizing it. It's not about being fearful. Not at all. It's about being aware, about understanding these subtle shifts so we can continue to live fully and safely. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 common, everyday things that can unexpectedly become more dangerous once you're past that 65-year mark. It's not about scaremongering. It's about empowerment, about having the knowledge to navigate these changes with confidence and grace. It's often the smallest things that make the biggest difference, and understanding these can help prevent bumps in the road. Quite literally sometimes. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right in and start with something incredibly simple. Something we all do without even thinking about it every single day. Often multiple times a day, walking around our own homes. On surfaces we know intimately. Think about it. Your living room floor, the path from the kitchen to the bathroom, the stairs leading upstairs, or even just stepping over the threshold into the garden. For decades, these have been familiar, predictable routes. But as we age, several factors can converge to turn these safe, known territories into potential hazards. One of the biggest changes is in our balance and proprioception. That's the body's sense of its position in space. Our inner ear, our muscles, our joints. They all play a role in keeping us upright and steady. And over time, the feedback loop can slow down a little. We might not adjust as quickly to a slight tilt or an uneven spot. Then there's muscle strength, particularly in our legs and core, which can decrease if not actively maintained. This means our steps might not be as strong. Our ability to recover from a stumble might be reduced. Combine that with potential changes in vision. Maybe reading glasses are a necessity now, or perhaps contrast sensitivity isn't what it used to be. And suddenly, that rug corner that's been there for 20 years looks less distinct against the floor. A slightly worn patch on the carpet, a power cord running along the skirting board, a wet spot from a spilled drink you didn't quite dry up. These tiny imperfections that we used to stride over effortlessly can become significant obstacles. The risk isn't just the fall itself, though that's certainly a major concern due to increased fragility of bones, which we'll touch on later. It's also the cascade of consequences a fall can trigger fear of falling, leading to reduced activity, which in turn leads to weaker muscles and worse balance, creating a vicious cycle. So, what can we do about something as fundamental as walking in our own homes? It starts with awareness. Look at your home through new eyes, almost as if you've never been in it before. Identify potential tripping hazards. Are there rugs with edges that curl up? Can you secure them? Perhaps with double-sided tape designed for rugs. Or consider removing them entirely from high-traffic areas. Are pathways clear of clutter, books, newspapers, decorative items, pet toys? Think about furniture placement. Is there a clear route through each room? Lighting is also incredibly important. Ensure hallways, staircases, and rooms you frequent at night are well lit. Consider nightlights, especially on the way to the bathroom. Stairs are a particular area of concern. If you have stairs, are the handrails sturdy and securely fixed on both sides? Is the lighting adequate? Are the edges of the steps clearly visible? Perhaps with contrasting strips if they blend into the riser. Even seemingly small changes like ensuring shoelaces are tied, or wearing well-fitting slippers with good grip instead of just socks, can make a difference. And let's not forget about pets. Tripping over a beloved dog or cat is a surprisingly common cause of falls at home. Being mindful of where they are, especially when moving around in low light, is important. Beyond modifying the environment, working on maintaining balance and strength through gentle exercises can be incredibly beneficial. Tai Chi, yoga, or even just simple balance exercises like standing on one leg while holding onto a chair can help improve stability and confidence. It's not about being afraid of your own home. It's about making small, smart adjustments to keep it a safe haven. Now, let's talk about something else we do multiple times a day. Something absolutely essential to life and enjoyment, eating and drinking. Food. Glorious food. It's a source of pleasure, nutrition, and social connection. But did you know that certain foods, or even just the way we prepare and store them, can become more risky after 65? One reason is changes in our digestive system and immune response. As we age, stomach acid levels can sometimes decrease, which means that harmful bacteria in food aren't killed off as effectively. Our immune systems might also not be as quick or robust in fighting off foodborne pathogens. This means that foods that might have given us just a mild stomach upset in our younger years could potentially lead to more severe illness now. Think about things like undercooked meats, raw seafood like oysters or sushi, unpasteurized dairy products or juices, and even deli meats or soft cheeses, which can sometimes harbor Listeria bacteria. Sprouts, like alfalfa or bean sprouts, can also be a source of bacteria. For someone over 65, especially if they have underlying health conditions or are taking certain medications, a bout of food poisoning can be much more serious, leading to severe dehydration, kidney problems, and even hospitalization. It's not about becoming overly fearful of food, but about being extra vigilant about food safety practices. This means paying close attention to sell-by and use-by dates, storing food at the correct temperatures, and being meticulous about cooking temperatures, especially for meats, poultry, and eggs. Using a food thermometer isn't being overly cautious. It's being smart. Avoiding cross-contamination in the kitchen, using separate cutting boards for raw meat and vegetables. Washing hands and surfaces thoroughly is crucial. Reheating leftovers properly, ensuring they are piping hot all the way through, is also key. And when eating out, especially in warmer months or when traveling, being a little more cautious about where you eat and what you order can be wise. Maybe skip the raw bar or the street vendor selling questionable-looking food. Just to be safe, it's about making informed choices to protect your health and enjoy your food without unnecessary worry. Beyond food safety itself, changes in swallowing can also make certain food textures more challenging or even dangerous due to the risk of choking. Conditions like dysphagia or difficulty swallowing can become more common with age. This can make dry, crumbly foods, tough meats, sticky foods like peanut butter, or small, hard foods like nuts or popcorn risky. Signs might include coughing or clearing the throat frequently while eating, feeling like food is sticking, or unexplained weight loss. If you notice any of these signs, it's important to talk to your doctor. Simple strategies like cutting food into smaller pieces, chewing thoroughly, eating slowly, and staying hydrated can help. Sometimes, modifying food textures or thickening liquids might be recommended by a healthcare professional. Again, it's about awareness and adaptation, not deprivation. Enjoying nourishing, delicious food is vital for well-being, and with a little extra care, we can continue to do so safely. Moving on from navigating our homes and what we eat, let's consider something that many of us rely on regularly, often without a prescription, over-the-counter medications and even supplements. These are the pills and potions we pick up at the local pharmacy or supermarket for headaches, colds, indigestion, or minor aches and pains. They seem harmless enough, right? After all, you don't need a doctor's note to buy them. However, as we get older, the way our bodies process medications can change significantly. Our kidneys and liver, which are responsible for filtering drugs out of our system, may not work as efficiently as they once did. This means that medications can stay in our bodies for longer, potentially building up to higher levels than intended. This can increase the risk of side effects. Take something as common as ibuprofen or naproxen, part of the group of drugs known as NSAIDs. While effective for pain and inflammation, regular use, especially at higher doses, can increase the risk of stomach ulcers, kidney problems, and even cardiovascular issues, risks that are generally higher for older adults. Even something like diphenhydramine, a common ingredient in many over-the-counter sleep aids and allergy medications, can cause significant side effects in older adults, including confusion, dizziness, dry mouth, constipation, and difficulty urinating. These effects aren't just uncomfortable. They can increase the risk of falls or other accidents. The biggest danger, though, often comes from interactions. As we age, it's more likely we're taking one or more prescription medications for chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease. Adding an over-the-counter product into the mix without checking can lead to dangerous interactions. For example, certain decongestants can raise blood pressure, which is risky if you're already being treated for hypertension. Some heartburn medications can affect how other drugs are absorbed. Even seemingly innocent supplements like St. John's wort can interfere with a wide range of medications, including blood thinners, antidepressants, and heart medications. It's absolutely vital to treat over-the-counter medications and supplements with the same respect as prescription drugs. The key takeaway here is communication. Always, always, always inform your doctor and pharmacist about everything you are taking, including all over-the-counter medications, vitamins, herbs, and supplements. Don't assume that because you bought it without a prescription, it's automatically safe for you. Your pharmacist is a fantastic resource. They can check for potential interactions and advise you on appropriate dosages and duration of use for your specific situation and health profile. They can also help you understand if a symptom you're experiencing might actually be a side effect of something you're taking. Keeping an updated list of all your medications and supplements in your wallet or on your phone is a simple but incredibly effective way to ensure healthcare providers have the full picture, especially in an emergency. Using these products wisely means using them sparingly, at the lowest effective dose, for the shortest necessary time, and always with an awareness of how they might interact with other aspects of your health and medications. Moving on, let's talk about something that represents independence and freedom for many driving. For decades, hopping in the car to run errands, visit family, or just go for a drive has been second nature. But even driving short, familiar distances can present new challenges as we age. Changes in vision, like reduced peripheral vision, decreased ability to see in low light or glare, and slower adjustment to changing light conditions, can make driving trickier. Hearing loss can mean you don't hear sirens or horns as easily. Physical changes, like reduced flexibility or strength, might make it harder to turn your head to check blind spots, or react quickly to apply the brake. Perhaps most significantly, cognitive changes can impact reaction time and the ability to process complex, rapidly changing traffic situations, making split-second decisions, merging into busy traffic, navigating unfamiliar road layouts, or reacting to unexpected actions from other drivers or pedestrians all require sharp focus and quick processing, abilities that can slow down with age. Driving fatigue can also set in more quickly. While experience certainly counts for a lot on the road, the cumulative effect of these changes can quietly increase the risk of an accident. Even on routes you've driven thousands of times, it's not about automatically giving up driving at a certain age, but about being honest with yourself about your abilities and taking steps to drive as safely as possible for as long as possible. Are you finding it harder to see road signs or lane markings, especially at night or in bad weather? Are you getting confused by complex intersections, Do you find yourself feeling stressed or anxious when driving in heavy traffic or on busy highways? Are family members expressing concerns? These are all signs that it might be time to evaluate your driving. There are practical steps you can take. Get regular eye exams to ensure your prescription is current, and to check for conditions like cataracts or glaucoma that can affect driving. Ensure your hearing aids are working properly if you use them. Consider taking a senior driving refresher course. Many organizations offer these, and they can help you brush up on rules and strategies. Drive during daylight hours and avoid driving in bad weather or at night if visibility is an issue. Plan your routes to avoid complex areas or peak traffic times. Ensure your car is well maintained, with clean windows and mirrors, and properly inflated tires. However, it's also important to have a plan for when driving is no longer the safest option. Exploring alternative transportation options, public transport, ride-sharing services, or getting help from family and friends is a responsible part of aging and can maintain your independence in other ways. Being proactive about assessing your driving and planning for the future is key to staying safe and mobile. Finally, let's touch on something that seems counterintuitive as a danger: simply staying up late. We might think of a late night as a bit of a treat, perhaps watching a film or reading a good book. But for many over 65, consistently staying up late and disrupting sleep patterns can have significant negative impacts on health and safety, making it unexpectedly dangerous. As we age, our sleep architecture changes. We often spend less time in deep, restorative sleep and REM sleep, and we might wake up more frequently during the night. Our circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock that regulates sleep and wakefulness, can also shift, often leading to earlier bedtimes and wake-up times. Trying to fight against this natural shift by regularly staying up late can lead to chronic sleep deprivation or poor quality sleep. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a vital period for the body and brain to repair, consolidate memories, regulate hormones, and clear waste products. When we don't get enough quality sleep, the effects can be wide-ranging and can exacerbate other age-related vulnerabilities. For instance, poor sleep significantly impacts cognitive function, concentration, memory, problem-solving skills all suffer. This reduced alertness and impaired judgment can make navigating your home in the dark more perilous, increasing the risk of falls we discussed earlier. Lack of sleep also weakens the immune system, making you more susceptible to infections. It can affect mood, increasing feelings of irritability or depression. It impacts metabolism and can make it harder to manage conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. It can also increase pain sensitivity. Think about driving after a poor night's sleep. Your reaction time is slower, similar to driving under the influence of alcohol. Operating any kind of machinery, or even just cooking, becomes riskier when you're not fully alert. So, while the occasional late night is unlikely to cause harm, making it a regular habit after 65 is something worth reconsidering. Prioritizing consistent, quality sleep becomes incredibly important for overall health, safety, and quality of life. What helps trying to maintain a regular sleep schedule? Going to bed and waking up around the same time, even on weekends. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine, perhaps a warm bath. Reading or listening to calming music can signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Ensure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. Limiting screen time from phones, tablets, and TVs in the hour or so before bed can also help, as the blue light can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. If you're struggling with sleep, don't just accept it. Talk to your doctor. There might be underlying issues like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or other medical conditions contributing to the problem. Or perhaps medications you are taking are interfering with sleep. Addressing sleep problems isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for staying safe and healthy. We've talked about navigating familiar spaces, making smart food choices, being mindful of medications, evaluating our driving, and prioritizing sleep. These 5 things, walking around your home, eating certain foods, taking over-the-counter medications, driving, and staying up late, seem so ordinary, so much a part of everyday life. But hopefully, you can now see how changes that happen naturally as we get older can subtly shift the risk associated with them. It's not about becoming overly cautious or letting fear dictate your life. Not at all. It's about embracing awareness, about understanding how your body and capabilities might be changing, and making proactive adjustments to your environment and habits to ensure you can continue to live safely and independently. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Checking for trip hazards, being careful with food prep, talking to your doctor about all your medications, being honest about your driving ability, and making sleep a priority are not signs of weakness. They are signs of strength and wisdom. They are about taking control of your well-being and ensuring you can continue to enjoy all the wonderful things life has to offer without unnecessary risk. The surprise I mentioned at the beginning. It's not a new magic pill or a revolutionary gadget. The real surprise is often how much power you have, through simple awareness and small adjustments, to significantly reduce these risks and maintain your independence and vitality well into your later years. It's not external forces you need to fear most, but a lack of attention to these seemingly minor internal and environmental shifts. The most powerful tool is your own informed perspective and willingness to adapt. Don't underestimate the impact of these common things, but also don't feel overwhelmed. Take them one step at a time. Maybe start by doing a quick check for tripping hazards around your home this week. Next, make a list of all your medications to share with your doctor at your next appointment. Then, focus on getting to bed a little earlier consistently. These aren't giant leaps, but they are significant steps toward a safer, healthier life. What are your thoughts on these points? Are there other common things you've noticed become more challenging or risky as you've gotten older? Sharing your experiences in the comments below can be incredibly helpful for others in our community. Let's learn from each other and support one another in navigating this stage of life with confidence and joy. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos packed with tips and insights for living your best life at every age. Thanks for watching. And remember, staying informed and making thoughtful choices allows you to live your best life at every age.